look at the two lines graphed below. At what point do the two lines intersect? Now, just quick vocab note, intersect means, this is basically asking, where do these two lines meet? Where do these two lines intersect? And we can here are our two equations for our two lines. We can very clearly see that they are going to meet right there. They intersect right there, and the coordinates for that point are -2. That's our x-coordinate, and -4 is our y-coordinate. So that's where they meet. At this point, at point -2, -4, these two equations are equal to each other. This equation is equal to this equation. That means their input, -2, got the same output. They have the same x-coordinate and the same y-coordinate when they are at this point. And we can see this by substituting -2 and -4 into these equations. We can see that -2 and -4 does the same thing for each of these equations. It works for both. I substitute -4 in for my y-coordinate and -2 into my x-coordinate into my first equation that I was given, and I'm going to see that when I work this out, when I simplify everything, I'm going to get -4 equals -4. So it works for this equation. It's also going to work for our second equation, for this guy. And we can see that this is definitely going to equal -4 on both sides as well. -2, -4 is a solution that satisfies each of these equations. This is where the lines cross. This is the solution that satisfies each equation. We're going to hear some more names for that point that these two equations intersect. Alright, what is the solution that satisfies the equation graphed below? So, we're going to just do the same thing. It intersects right there. So, the solution that's asking us for, like over here, we found that -2, -4 is a solution that satisfies each of these equations because it's where the two lines cross, and that point where when they cross makes those two equations true. We're going to look for here where they cross. What is the solution that satisfies the equations graphed below? Cha. -3, -2. And if we want to understand why, we can take these two equations and we can substitute the x-coordinate of -3 and the y-coordinate of -2 for each equation, and we can multiply everything out on the right side, then add what we can, and we're going to get that this -3, -2 is a solution that satisfies both of these equations. It made both of these equations true. In other words, it's a point on both of these lines. What is the solution to the systems of equations graphed below? Try this one on your own. The two lines intersect at 4, 3, so the solution to this would be B, 4, 3. What is the solution to this system of equations? So it's asking us, what is the solution. We need to figure out where these two lines are going to intersect, and we don't have a graph. They didn't give us the line, so now what we have to do is we have to graph these equations and see where they're going to meet. Got to figure out what the solution to this system of equations is. When they say system, all I mean is these two equations that we were given that we want to put on one graph. So let's see where they meet. First equation. This is in slope-intercept form. I know that because y is by itself. So I can see that the slope is -3/2. And my y-intercept is +2. Go ahead and plot my y-intercept. Go down 3/2. other point, and I can keep on doing this to make more points. And there's my line for my first equation. Second equation, y equals negative half x minus 2. This is also in slope-intercept form. Once again, I know this because y is by itself right here, and because y is by itself, because it's in slope-intercept form, I can see that my slope is negative 1/2 and my y-intercept is negative 2. That means I'm going to put my second point on negative 2. And I'm going to go down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. And magic happens. My lines intersect right here. That point is 4, negative 4. That is my solution to this system of equations. That is my point of intersection of these two lines. 4, negative 4. Do this one on your own. The correct answer to this problem is going to be answer choice 4-3 B. And we know that because this is where our two lines intersect, and that where they intersect is where the two equations are equal. That's the solution that satisfies both the equations. So that is our answer. That is our correct answer. Answer choice B. Try this one on your own. The correct answer to this is going to be answer choice 1. Answer choice C. These two lines intersect at 1, 1. Therefore, that is my solution to this system of equations. That is the solution that satisfies both equations. It's a point on each of these equations line. That is what satisfies both of these equations. Choice C. Alright. New question. What is the solution to this system of linear equations? Now here, we need to convert these to slope-intercept form before we graph them. We can see y is not by itself. We have 4y, we have we have x. All of this is on the same side. We need to get rid of this, and we need to divide out the 4 that's being attached to the y. So let's convert both of these into slope-intercept form. I'll do this one first. First thing we need to get rid of, my 1x. I'm going to add negative 1x to each side of this equation, and that will get rid of this this 1x from my side with my y. After that, I'm going to divide each side of my equation by 4. And this is what will result. Y equals negative 2 plus negative 1/4 x. This means that my slope is negative 1/4 and my y-intercept is 2. Put a dot on negative 2. Go down 1 over 4 for my slope. And there's my line. Second equation. Now we need to convert this equation to slope-intercept form so that we can graph it onto this coordinate plane and see where it meets up with this first equation that I just graphed. First thing I'm going to do is add negative 5x to both sides to get rid of this positive 5x that's being added to my term with my y. After that, I'm going to find that 4y is equal to 8 plus negative 5x. I'm going to divide each side by 4 to get rid of the 4 that's being multiplied to my y. This will leave me with y equals 2, which comes from 8 divided by 4, 2 plus negative 5 over 4 x. My slope is negative 5 over 4. My y-intercept is positive 2. I'm going to put a dot on positive 2. And then I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My dot goes right there. That's my equation for my line. I can very clearly see that the two lines meet up right there. And the coordinates for that point where the two lines intersect, my solution to my system of linear equations is 4, -3. Alright, do this one on your own. The correct answer to this problem is D, -2/3. When we graph our equations, they're going to look like this. Don't forget, we have to first convert each equation into slope-intercept form. So we should add -x to both sides here, divide everything by 2, and get y equals 2 plus -½ x. This one, we should add -3x to both sides and get y equals -3 plus -3x, and that would be this equation right here. When we graph them, they intersect at -2, 3. -2, 3 is the solution that satisfies both of these equations. Alright, that's it. Go to Khan Academy and practice graphing systems of equations. When you're finished, complete all of the mastery challenges, and then you may work on your homework.